Wiley, Rick Bucher, and Jim Jackson are back. Let's return to the NBA Finals. Let's take a moment to congratulate the Toronto Raptors. They were spectacular last night. In Game 3 of the NBA Finals, 7 Raptors fired at least one shot. All 7 Toronto players sank at least half of their shots. Kyle Lowry and Danny Green were the Splash Brothers. They combined to nail 11 three-pointers. Kawhi Leonard dropped 30 points. Pascal Siakam and Marc Gasol scored 18 and 17 respectively. The Raptors beat the Warriors 123-109 and took a 2-1 series lead in the series.
We just went out there and did our job, and I think we held them under 40% shooting. We played well. We finished the game, and we found a way to win the basketball game.
I give our guys a lot of credit. I thought we answered a lot of runs, right? Down to 7 a bunch and came back and scored a bucket or hit a 3 or whatever. We each time they chipped, we kind of answered back, and that's kind of what you got to do if you're going to keep your lead.
And I'm just happy we were able to get a Game 3 win, another step closer to our goal.
The Raptors were amazing. Let's give them their flowers while they're alive. Let's do it now before the Warriors kill them over the next 3 games. I agree with Draymond Green. This series is over in 6.
Everybody wants to see us lose, so I'm sure people are happy they're hurt. We just got to continue to battle and win the next game, go back to Toronto, win Game 5, come back to Oracle, win Game 6, and then celebrate. Fun times ahead.
All right, let me be totally honest. Last night, I was more impressed by Steph Curry than the Raptors. Toronto took advantage of Golden State's no Klay Thompson, lackadaisical defense. Lowry and Green buried wide-open shots. Steph Curry, on the other hand, played the most impressive playoff game of his career, with Thompson and Kevin Durant and Kevon Looney sidelined with injuries, and Draymond and Boogie Cousins hampered by indifference and rust. Steph took on the Raptors all by himself. He looked like Jon Snow battling the dead. Steph finished with 47 points. It was a heroic performance undermined by a lack of support. Well, support is on the way. According to our own Chris Haynes, Thompson will be back for Game 4, and the Warriors are hopeful Durant will play too. To me, it's starting to feel like Durant won't play until Game 5. It's starting to feel like the NBA would prefer a 7-game series with Durant returning with Golden State in a 3-1 hole. That's a storyline that will draw television ratings and boost the legend of Kevin Durant. Nothing changed last night. If Durant plays in this series, the Warriors win the championship. Let me remove the qualifier. Nothing changed last night. The Warriors are going to win the title. All right, Marcellus, start with you. More impressed with Steph Curry or more impressed with the Toronto Raptors last night?
Toronto Raptors. Let me be clear about that. Steph was amazing, but as you just said, nothing changed last night. His legacy, nothing changed last night. Amazing performance. I still think
and they
Steph
won.
is the same. Rick told us 2 things that we should have took heed to. One, he said, Steph, if he goes out there and plays that style, he's going to ball out, and they're going to lose. And 2, Oracle ain't the same. In Toronto, you can see him growing that confidence. So for me, it's the Raptors, a team since the new playoff format that the first time in NBA history in the finals goes out there and shoots 50% from the field. All of their players, first time ever, they went and shot 50, 40, 90. This team did this, not Steph Curry, the team. So because of the multitude of players that showed up, I have to go with the team win and the Raptors.
I'm 100% with you. I was more impressed by Steph than I was by the Raptors. It wasn't what I would call a convincing win. In fact, the entire time I'm thinking, you guys are leaving the door open. Something crazy could happen. What are you doing?
14 points? Oh, sorry. 14 points is not convincing enough?
They could have
Vegas thinks so.
They could have pushed it to 23, 24, 25 and made it a foregone conclusion.
Right.
They kept things interesting for a lot longer than I expected them to do that. But they ultimately got it done with role players. Marc Gasol won the battle with DeMarcus Cousins in a big way. Fred VanVleet was far more impactful than Quinn Cook. When I look at the stars basically canceling each other out. And by the way, all the stars are hurt too. Steph Curry included, if we're going to count the finger. Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, go down the line. This is going to be a series decided by the role players. And if I size up who has the better role players at this stage, I've got to go with the Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
I'm going to go somewhere different. I wasn't impressed either side because I expected. You expect that when Golden State is down, Toronto got to come in here and win the game. You know that's going to happen. You know that Steph, without the rest of his guys, he's going to put up 40-plus points. Right. You know that's going to happen.
I was the only one that said that yesterday, but go ahead.
Ooh. What? Two. Wait, man. Can I finish my statement, okay? You know, this is my statement right now. Okay, but that's my mindset because I knew going into the game these things were going to happen. Golden State didn't stand a chance last night without Klay. Great. Offensively, they struggled, but more importantly, not having Klay on the defensive end. How many layups did Toronto get?
Can we mention somebody else on that? Can we mention somebody else?
What's that? On
Kevon.
Oh, Kevon Looney, too. Rim
Huge
protection.
absence. Nobody's talking about that.
But Kevon is really good, too, in guarding the pick and roll at times because he can use his length. So, again, I knew Steph was going to go for his, but I think Steph also figured out, too, how hard it is to carry a team and actually – see, the question is, were those empty 47 points? Because did they really impact the game? It was some times where you had the chance to make some runs, okay? But
y'all stop.
Well, stop with what?
This man scored 47 and it didn't impact the game.
No, I said impact the game in regards to having that real opportunity to win it.
Jimmy, the 8th most in the finals game ever. That didn't have impact.
On the win.
How close did they get, though?
Oh,
it was 10.
Yeah, because Draymond and Boogie didn't show up.
Good point.
Let me move.
There
Let
it
me
is.
move.
It's still 47 points.
Hold on, wait, time out.
We gotta move.
I know we gotta move.
Steve Kerr just announced KD will not be playing in Game 4. Does that change your opinion at all about Klay should play, KD will not play in Game 4? Does that change your opinion about how this series is going to unfold?
Yes, because coming into this game, I think out of 39 Game 3s, the team that won Game 3 won 30. I think 31 out of 39 won a championship. Okay,
it's 82%.
You see what I'm saying? Coming into this,
82%.
now again, it changes a little bit of the narrative if you got a healthy squad if you're Golden State. But if KD doesn't play, depending on how healthy Klay is, because Klay has to be healthy. He can't be limping around now. He can spread the court, he can shoot it, but defensively, I think it's very important. It does change the dynamic, even though they're at home, but I still give a slight edge if Klay can come back and play to Golden State.
It doesn't change what they were defensively.
That's the problem.
Was horrible. They're still going to have to play DeMarcus Cousins, Jordan Bell, and Andrew Bogut. And their ability to stop things, particularly if Marc Gasol continues to be aggressive, they don't have rim protection that can stop the pick and roll and get back and defend. Kevon Looney was much more important than that. And Klay is going, let's face it, we're talking about a strained hamstring and we're talking about a week later. If you're telling me that he's going to be able to defend Kawhi or stay in front of anybody, I mean, Siakam, forget about it.
Yeah.
To be able to stay in front of them with a tweaked hamstring, yes, I believe as a catch-and-shoot guy, he can still be dangerous. He can still make you come out and close out. But defensively stay in front of a guy, I don't see how that happens, and that was their biggest issue. 123
and the turnovers, too. I mean, one thing Golden State has done in the past, too, is got loose with the ball. And what Toronto wants to do is capitalize over that. If you give me a live ball turnover, now I'm able to get back. I'm in front of the defense if I'm Toronto. And I thought at the beginning of the game, Toronto did an excellent job of being active. Yep. Draymond had some bad turnovers early on. Even later in the game when they were making their runs, trying to get the lobs inside.
Yes.
They weren't there.
But their back cuts and their lobs were not there. And as much as everybody talks about their three-point shooting, when they don't have those easy finishes at the bucket, they are not the same team. And you're not, even Klay coming back, I don't see him busting it back door and finishing at the rim.
KD coming back, just for some reference. KD had a calf strain last year, missed 3 games, came back, had 40 points. Okay, KD has not played since May 8th. You now insert him into a Game 5, Game 6, maybe even Game 7. One that shows the severity of this injury. This is not the same injury. Oh, but you're not missing 3 games. You're missing a month plus. What's going to come back in terms of what version of KD? The jersey's going to be on the court, but what player underneath? Same when you're talking about Klay Thompson. A hamstring, that severity in terms of how it impacts you mentally, how you're always in your own head. You created another opponent of thought.
So you like Toronto more? Even more.
They're forcing it. They're forcing me to go that way.
I think you're all wrong. If is if Kevin Durant puts on a jersey in this series.
I'm still with
Golden State wins this series.
With healthy.
If he comes back for game 5, they win this series.
Even if they're down 3-1.
Absolutely. And I really believe
with 2 games
in a row.
I like this Golden State team, man. I just think that, again, if their best players are playing, and I understand the role player part of it, but those 3 on the court together, you can't stop that. Now, again, they are going to have to address how they play defensively. I mean, that's very important. But I came into this series saying this before. Their best 3 players are the 3 best players out there, okay? Their best. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back.
Okay, I love you.
I said that Kawhi and Durant will cancel each other out.
Okay, so after that.
But after that,
yeah, the next 3.
2, 3, 4 go towards
Jimmy, I love you. Don't be so stubborn, man. I know you came into this series saying one thing.